Good day, learners. This is Easy Engineering. For today's topic, we're going to talk about the DNA. We may have simple questions in life that need answering. Questions like, why do people look and act like people? Cats look and act like cats. Or frogs look and act like frogs. All living things have DNA embedded inside the center of their cells. It is the genetic information passed down from our parents, half from our mother and half from our father. Now, every time one of our cells divides to duplicate itself, this information is passed on to the new cells to make sure the new cells look identical to the original. DNA is short for Deoxyribonucleic acid. So what is DNA made of? If we are going to get the bottom of this, DNA is smaller than the nucleus of your cell, but still, it is made up of a lot of things. DNA is like a double helix from long thin molecules made up of nucleotides. In other words, nucleotides connect the double helix. Fun fact, learners, did you know that your DNA could stretch from the Earth to the Sun and back 600 times? If unwound and linked together, the strand in each cell is 6 feet, and there are trillions of cells in your body, so that figures. But don't be afraid to learn about the DNA. It may look very complex, but it is really pretty simple. It is just a pattern made out of 4 different shapes, or an alphabet with only 4 letters. These letters represent the 4 different types of nucleotides or bases. A for adenine, T for thymine, C for cytosine, and G for guanine. Holding the nucleotides together is a backbone made of phosphate and deoxyribose. Only certain sets of nucleotides can fit together. You can think of them like puzzle pieces. A only connects with T and G only connects with C. Now let's talk about the cells in the body. There are 210 different types of cells in our bodies, and some of them are blood cells, bone cells, and cells that make our muscles. DNA tells cells what proteins to make. Mostly, those proteins are enzymes. Take note that cells get their instructions on what to do from DNA. If we want to simplify its logic, think about the cell as the computer or the hardware, and the DNA as the program or code that keeps the computer running. The DNA code is the compilation of letters of the nucleotides. Every 3 letters make up a word called a codon. A string of codons may look like this. Even though there are only 4 letters, a string of the combination of these letters allows for billions and billions of different combinations. Fun fact, learners, did you know that your DNA could tell who your ancestors are? If you take a DNA test, you would be surprised to know where you really came from. You could have been in a line from a royal family. Who knows? The instructions in the DNA are usually copied or replicated for other cells. This is called DNA replication. So basically, the DNA looks like a spiral ladder. The legs of the ladder are then separated or split in half. Now this gives 2 single strands. An enzyme called DNA helicase splits the DNA or the ladder down the middle by breaking the hydrogen bonds. New strands are formed by regenerating the legs, forming a mirror-like ladder. It is made by matching the bases, A with T and G with C, to make the missing strands. Another molecule called DNA polymerase makes a new strand that matches each of the strands of the split DNA molecule. Now, within each strand of DNA are sets of instructions called genes. A gene tells a cell how to make a specific protein. Genetics is the study of these genes, and we have a whole video of it for you in another topic. Please check it out. So learners, now we've learned something about DNA and how we are actually all related to each other. So that's it. That is all for now. I hope you learned something today. Once again, this is Easy Engineering. Have a nice day.